Everybody, welcome back. Right, I've just been to Rev's suspension over in Elzowen. They've set the forks up, changed the rear. I tell you what, she's a different bike. I've just took her out for a quick blast. It feels so much more planted on the road. Look at that beauty over there, absolutely stunning. So now, anybody who's a local, well, I know there's even people who come here who aren't local. I'd highly recommend. So we have to wait a bit because we had an emergency, but obviously that can't be helped. It's one of them. And he knocked a fiver off. So 20 quid to come get your suspension set up for you. Absolutely bargain. So now, there's a little bum chum over there. So now, anybody who's local or even not, definitely hit these guys up. 10 out of 10 from me. How do? Welcome back. Just another quick update. The suspension is absolutely bang on. Absolutely, you know what I mean? For considering people moan about the tracers, the stock suspension, yes, granted, it probably would be better with K-Tech springs, thicker fork oil, and a new rear shock. But as it stands at the minute, obviously very rarely I'm going to carry a pillion. I plan on carrying a pillion. That's what I bought a bike. I wanted passengers, I'd buy a bus. No, but she's absolute. Come on. Come on, green. Fucking hell. He's obviously waiting for fucking Christmas by the looks. But green Ava. He's braking. Penis. No, but no, other than that, and dickers like that, it's absolutely bloody lovely. Bloody lovely. So the forks was way too soft. I'm going to say, I think I counted yesterday 8 or 9 rings either side. I think I can now see 2, maybe 1. He did say it's nearly to the max, but he doesn't like setting it to max. No, which is fair enough. At the end of the day, he's the you know, check the line off everybody then. You know, he's the suspension man, so I'm going to trust him. Just listen to that. Absolutely. Sounds lovely. Right, duck behind the strip now. Oh. I've turned into Sam with a KTM. Just keep revving and listening to your bike, popping and farting. Really lovely. But now, anybody who's local or knows the area, go and check them out. Speak to John or Nick. Absolutely fantastic. So he'd done the bike for less than 10 minutes, to be fair. So, you know, obviously them kind of people know the shit. I don't know what he's doing at 20 miles an hour and 40. Obviously he knows his stuff, so you know, like I know Max has said, oh, try it yourself. No. I don't have the facilities for that, big man. All I'll be doing is messing it up even more. Granted, I did think it was set too soft for me. Now, especially when you got an inch sticking up from the top, you know, the top yoke, the forks, then much is took off. So either the previous didn't know what he was doing, that time. Oh, the noise! It sounds so angry. Really like the Well, I'll get told off then. Yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought now. But now, for that kind of money, you can't really complain. You say, this, and I don't know what it was like at the box. Obviously, I've not long bought this, so I don't know what stock suspension was, but under hard acceleration the front would get quite flighty, and when 3 digits come up on the screen that you now can't see, the front would do this ever so slightly, just a little bit of a wobble, as if it was trying to find traction. But as we later found out, it was, because it was that soft. The rear was that soft. With my fat arse on it, I've then pushed it down because there was no static sag on the rear at all. So I don't know what he'd done. I think he made a dog's dinner with it, if the truth be known. But it's all sorted now. And the only other one, when you was heavy on the front brakes, the suspension was that soft, it actually started to pick the rear up. So obviously as you're applying the front brake and you've stopped, and then you obviously, because you don't want to jerk, you slowly, ever so slightly release the front brake as you come to a stop. You just feel the back just go pop. You just feel the rear wheel just sit on the floor. I don't know where this out is going here. And the comment on Beamer drivers. But now, other than that, the suspension I thought was, it was a bit, but obviously it is messed, so I can't comment what it's like out the box. So don't ask, basically. Because me don't know. I don't know what it was like out the box. Because I had it out the box. But now, so I do my own work, I know people do go for a more linear front spring, because apparently the ones in these at the top or the bottom winding ever so much, just a little bit tighter. But doing my own work, that's basically just dead. So you could have a spring, I don't know, that big, you've only limited it to that, so you've got less travel, and obviously stuff like that. That's why a lot of people go for the more linear springs and slightly thicker fork coil, obviously stop the front a bit. Which on Max's FZ6, you could tell that's had upgraded suspension, because his suspension hardly has any travel, and he absolutely loves it. You can just tell it's. So the new rear shock, I don't know what it is on it. He probably don't even know, if the truth be known. But an upgraded forks and thick oil, purely for the fact of how, not stiff, but he quite likes a sporty feel. If his bike's his toy, where mine's got to do everything type of thing. If I had the money, there's certain people out there who know what bike I'd have, and that would be Q-Tube and Sam and Max. They all know what I'd have if I had the money. It would be the 1290 SAS. But I just think that bike looks the absolute dogs. Speaking of dogs, oof. Sorry. God's sake, why are people so stupid? So bloody stupid. Dumbass. I've talked you around this corner. When the sun comes out, the Pow Pow band comes out. Sneaky. Trying to get the Christmas bonuses. Anyway, I asked this question actually on the Phaser, and I never really got to publish the video. People who ride, what's your thoughts on dash cams? How do you ride when you see a dash cam? Do you sort of behave, or do you sort of just carry on as normal? But then saying that, though, there's some people I know who don't ride with plates. So, which, if you look at it as a biker, it makes more sense riding with no plate, because it's just a £60 fine, as long as obviously you ain't caught being an utter dick. But yeah, you try and cover your plate or anything like that, that's what can happen. Okay, bye folks.